No, man, that was to me that was the most exciting match of the evening. This is what's crazy to me: the most shocking outcome of the entire event. All right, now we're getting to some nitty-gritty stuff. Pablo versus Sandras.
Okay, I was super excited about this. As we had discussed on the live as your predictions, you had a lot of interest in this because there's been some talk about wanting you to match up with Sandras, and you also wanted to match up with Pablo here at the Monster Factory. Pablo looked like we expected him to. Round one.
Yeah, super strong.
Round one.
And what happened as soon as he went outside and round two, he hit back and Sanders was just sink in that supination, cup him in, and just fight him off and just bleed him. It was really just a technical masterclass that he put on against what appeared to be a stronger opponent. But he's complete. He can do everything. He can shoulder press. He can top roll. And he didn't really panic very much, so I was very impressed with him.
And how old is Sandras?
I have no idea.
He's a young kid, I think.
Yeah. I mean, he's a big kid too. He's like 6'4", 6'5", 250 pounds now. He did call out Angarbayev.
Yeah.
And he said he's going to cut down to 105. So that means he's going to go down to the lighter weight class. He wants a world title shot against Angarbayev. Honestly, he's a very good arm wrestler. Does he maintain that same strength, dropping 10 kgs? I don't know. Angarbayev is probably one of the most technically sound, complete arm wrestlers that exist in this generation. So if he was able to do that, that'd speak volumes, huge. Freed Osvaldi versus Wagner Bortolotto has to be the most exciting match of the night.
Well, because Wagner did Wagner.
What the hell? Earthquake, Jack Jesus, whatever. He shook that. I mean, I don't even know what that table weighs with those bases on it, right? With those risers, those built-in risers. What does that table weigh? He shakes it so hard it breaks the riser, it breaks the platform.
They gotta go fix it.
That's crazy. You gotta love Wagner, man. He's such a gentle, nice, humble guy. He's just a crazy animal on the table.
Okay, you guys, if you have not seen Michael versus Wagner in Brazil, fantastic stuff.
It was horrible.
Okay, fantastic stuff. Wagner was beating him so bad.
It was really bad.
Really bad. So Michael looks at me in the audience, he's like, there's nothing I can do. But
the right arm was on point that day, but that left was not hanging in
But the first pin that Wagner gets, I think it was the first pin.
I don't know what it was.
He's just jerking Michael's arm.
I'm just having nothing but just... Yeah, hey, cool, whatever. I don't care,
But it was so much fun to watch his
excitement, enthusiasm, his adrenaline, his passion, everything about him.
I love Wagner.
And you listen to Travis's commentary, he's like, dude, you have to have him on the card, right? Just for the simple fact that he's crazy.
And then how I'm telling you, he almost went body surfing. If there would have been a crowd down there to catch him, he would have just, jumped out there into the crowd.
What was better than him jumping off stage was his little hop over the rope.
Oh, yeah, that was cute.
That was cute.
That was cute.
That was, to me, that was the most exciting match of the evening. And honestly, I thought Fareed was going to win.
Yeah.
Because Wagner had just lost to the Georgie, where the left-handed match he had. I think he might have won round one, then losing 3-1, and Fareed looked strong against Corey. So I thought, Fareed just had no answer for that shoulder press rounds 1 and 2, and then round 3 he even goes out like to a dragging hook top roll type of thing that he beats him with, and that's not even his move. So he went in a completely different lane and still beat him 3-0.
He did that thing, I can beat you here, I can beat you here, I can beat you there.
This is what's crazy to me. The most shocking outcome of the entire event. And I'm super impressed because I am a Morzov fan. I like the fact that he looks like a cyborg Terminator machine from the future. You know what I'm saying? Like, he is built. That young man is a stud. I'm not fully aware of exactly what type of stomach issues he has, or he lost 10 kgs or whatever, but that is a fact. Those things happen, right? But the fact that Georgie is prepping for the WAF World Championships and he took this match on 6 days' notice. What?
What?
Oh my God.
Okay.
That guy is a stud. I mean, who would ever thought that he was going to roll Morozov's wrist like that every round?
So he's prepping for what?
WAF Worlds.
Okay, if y'all can read between the lines, you should get what that means. All right, he's prepping for WAF
Well,
Worlds.
I can just tell you, he wasn't peaking for an East versus West super match. You know what
There
I'm saying?
was no peaking.
Okay. I'm just saying, this cat
Yeah.
is like 4 to 6 weeks away from WAF, so I don't know the exact timeline. And he took the match on 6 days' notice. Apparently, Ingen talked to him. He's like, yeah, I'm ready, I'm strong. And he clearly was.
Mm-hmm.
That guy was awesome.
Someone
And I hate it
said,
for Morozov because, like I said, I'm a big fan of Morozov.
someone
But-
said 1 month away from WAF, he had to be near peaking. No, you don't understand.
Yeah.
You're not reading between the lines.
Yeah, you're
Right?
just reading the lines. You're not going in between them at all.
You're not
You know
going
what I'm saying? Like, the fact is, he looked amazing. I mean, I could not be more impressed with a guy who took the match 6 days' notice and was able to make that kind of performance.
Very impressive.
I mean, really, so.
And I love that guy.
And that doesn't mean anything because that doesn't mean Gennady would have beat.
He's such a
more.
sweet
It could
guy.
just be his style, his lane, his post, his top row, his hand, his wrist. He's essentially unhookable, he said. He's like, when's the last time you saw somebody hook me? I haven't. No, it's been a minute. You know what I'm saying? So, very strong. Now, I did message him, congratulating him and everything. And he said, thank you so much. Means a lot coming from a legend like yourself. And we go back and forth a little bit. He goes, it would be my honor to one day have a super match with you. I'm like, let's do it, you know. So I'm excited that that potentially could be a matchup for mine.
Here.
Not the first match back, obviously. You know, I'm not an idiot. You know what I'm saying? Because clearly that just moved him into like 7th overall or something.
You want to build up to that?
Yeah. I mean,
You know?
that's a match that we will see eventually. I'm
Let's
sure.
take the right arm out for a spin a few times before that.
Before
you
I
know?
jump on that
Yeah.
guy.
Can
All
we
right.
back up
Yeah,
just
go
a
ahead,
moment
go
because I don't want you to lose track of where you're going.
I'm good.
But the Wagner Bortolato match, guys, I have to tell you this. Corey, I'm fixing to bust you out. Michael's like, you need to pull Wagner because Corey had beat.
Well, Corey was here watching me. And
He was here
everything. He was
watching
watching with us and stuff.
Wagner's like, Corey's like, I don't want to pull that guy.
No, he said, I don't know if I want to pull it.
No, he said, I don't want to pull that guy.
Oh, is that what he said?
Yeah.
Oh, I heard I don't know if I want to pull
He
it.
said that a few times.
Okay.
And then he's like, yeah, I guess I'd pull him. And he's like, I don't want to pull that guy.
Well, we were right in the middle of a good chest. We decided to watch it here, and Corey came over, and we did a chest workout and a shoulder workout. I had some back issues this week, so I kind of took off Thursday and Friday and held those workouts off till yesterday. Corey's supposed to come back at some point today, and we're going to do an arm workout. So it'll be the heaviest arm circuit I've done since surgery. So it's going to be a good one. But yeah, man. So yeah, it's funny to hear Corey say, "I don't want to pull that dude." But yeah, it was impressive. Corey's biggest thing was, if he can't stop the press, if he can't push him out past his shoulder, getting stuck on his bicep like that would be a lot of pressure. That's a lot you have to hold on to before you can get him to come back. Now, I'm not saying Corey couldn't do it, but it is a big ask, to let somebody at that size. I cannot believe he's 332 pounds. My God, he's huge. He might have been the biggest guy on the card except for maybe Yorgi. Yorgi might have outweighed. I didn't see what Yorgi's weight was. Now, it said Jerry's weight was 324, but Jerry claims he was only 310. I saw a post where he said he got down to 305 after pneumonia, and he only got back up to 310. But they had him weighed in at 324 is what they said his weight was. So
They weighed him in. Okay, so before you get on to the main match, I want to give a shout out to the Monster Factory's head referee, Luke Pulcher, did a fantastic job there at East versus West on
He did.
the big stage.
No real issues at all. Took good control.
I thought he did fabulous.
Yeah, I mean,
Great
he's
work by
He's
Luke.
a WAF master referee. He knows what he's doing. He's been around the sport forever.
Yeah.
And he did a great job.
Right. Really good job.
Now here we go.
Here we go now.
East versus West, super heavyweight, right hand world championship match. Hermes Gasparini, I think he might have been the interim champ. Jerry Carteret was the reigning champ. Whatever, that match had been postponed. Almost got pushed back again. Hermes did exactly what I said I thought he was going to do, It's so funny. Somebody tagged me. I can't remember the name of the Instagram page. But he's like, Nostradamus, Michael Todd, nailed it, picked exactly how it was going to happen. And it just made sense to me. And I knew how specific Hermes takes his training for an opponent. Like for me, he came up with the Todd pipe to pull me back in 17, right? Mm-hmm. He figured out the angles. He's like, well, this is what I'm going to do, and do this. And there's enough information out there of the correct way to pull Jerry. And he did it perfectly. It was a perfect execution of counter, flop, wrist, press, arm wrestling. He never let Jerry get into his power. And you saw the one time round two where Jerry jumped in there and it kind of shocked Hermes' shoulder a little bit. I mean, it would be interesting to see if he was capable of catching Jerry and pulling back through it. But why? Someone, and even the commentator, I think it was Coach Ray's like having the I cannot remember the phrase he used, but like willing to jump in there. I'm like, dude, are you kidding me? It's a world title match. It's for overall undisputed number one East versus West super heavyweight champion, possibly number one in the world right now since Levon's out because of injury. And you think he should do something to just test? No, win.
Win.
Smack that dude.
Yeah.
Smack. That's how you do it.
Yeah.
This whole, I'm going to test you here, I'm going to test you there. Screw that. It's all about winning. And
I think that's what a practice table is for. I don't think that's
man,
what competition is for. You
So
know? Yeah.
I could not be more proud of Hermes. Jerry went over there and he went through a lot to get there. Even a healthy Jerry, in my mind, is going to run into some problems with Hermes just because he's so smart and he's so strong. We can all know how to beat Jerry, but unless you're strong enough to execute, it doesn't matter, right? Jerry's going to get that bent wrist in there, and for me, I just got to hang on for dear life until I can get my shoulder back ground behind it. But yeah, I mean, it's easy to say this is what you're supposed to do, but you have to have the strength to do it, and Hermes is one of those special individuals that has the strength to do it, and he did it perfectly. I mean, everything about the replay, when you watch the replays, watch how he finishes, watch how tight his hand is to his shoulder still. It's perfect. And he cups and he wedges sideways through it and rolls out. I mean, beautiful arm wrestling. That's my take on East versus West. It was a spectacular event. Hermes Gasparini could be on top of the mountain for a bit. I anxiously await Levon's healthy recovery because I want to see healthy Levon versus, because I believe, and even Levon said he thinks Hermes is stronger now than he was when he pulled him. And he's young still, and that's what you hear Ryan Bowen in his little video talk about. He's taken everything he had as a light middleweight arm wrestler all the way up into the very top of the super heavyweight division. He still has those same skills. He just has a lot more power with it. So he's gonna be dangerous for a lot of people.